Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share this video, especially if you love mixed martial arts as much as I do. My next video, I'm going to give a fight prediction, a re-fight prediction. I'm not changing my prediction on Ferguson and Green, but I did want to talk a little bit about why I don't think Justin Gaethje is where Tony Ferguson started to go downhill. I don't think it's that at all. I think it's after he won the interim title, he had a real bad knee injury, and he was only out for 5 months. That time where he had the surgery to the time where he recovered. I personally think he came back way too soon. Because at that time, he was still running through people, making it look easy. And he was beating the best guys at the time. Barboza, Dos Anjos, Josh Thompson, Kevin Lee, when he was still really winning a lot of fights, you know. And shout out to Kevin Lee. I know how he retired. I didn't want to talk about that because, you know, that's not something I really want to talk a lot about, you know, as far as fighters retiring. You notice when people retire, I normally don't post about it too much. But I hate he retired. But back to Tony Ferguson. And again, I don't think he'll stay retired. But, yeah, you know, I just think that injury really hurt him. And if you look at the Pettis fight, yeah, he looked great. But then after that, he fought Donald Cerrone in 2019. Cerrone was putting up a good fight with him in the first round. And the thing is with Tony would normally run through guys like that on the feet if they didn't take him down and try to submit him or wrestle with him, you know. And he struggled a little bit in that fight. And Cowboy says that around the time when he fought McGregor, he didn't have the desire to fight anymore. But I personally think it might have been before that. I think that was at that point he was winning 3 fights and he felt like, well, I need to get a title fight because it's time to get a title now, you know. And I think that was not desperation, but you know what I mean. He's like, hey, this is it, you know. And Tony was miles ahead as far as better than him, but he was also closer in his prime than Cerrone was because he'd been fighting for so long. But after that fight, and even in that fight, I think he struggled more than what he would have if it was 2015, 16, or even 17 before the injury. So those are just my thoughts on that. You know, I think he's that, and I think the game has changed a lot. You know, I think guys like Gaethje, Oliveira, they are the top guys today. Not to say that Tony isn't or couldn't be again, but the top guys. Since you're always fighting the top guys, you're always taking more damage. You're going through a lot more versus a guy who sits back and picks his fights or waits it out. Because Tony's a fighter. That's what fighters do. They always look for the next fight, the top guy. And how can you not respect him? That's why people love him, including me. I love watching him fight. You know, I'm going to be sad when he does retire. But I just don't see where, you know, Gaethje is the one responsible for what he did to him a few years ago. And that, you know, I'm trying to smile because as a fight fan, I was a little heartbroken about that and still am to this day. You know, that's part of why I don't pick Gaethje to win some fights. I'm petty about that. But, I just think he came back too soon from that injury. And after that injury, he did beat Pettis, but Pettis clearly has had a hard time since then too. Cowboy doesn't fight anymore in MMA. And he has struggled since then against the best guys. So that's my opinion on that. And I think age might be a factor, but at the same time, he still fights good. I just think he put too much on himself at one time, and he just kept that same pace where I don't know. What do you guys think about that, though?